From the Samsung Production Studios in the heart of Hazleton, Pennsylvania, it's your News 13.
Brought to you by SSPTV and the Standard Speaker.
Firefighters from all across 2 counties converge on Delano for a huge smoky blaze. Fire at the former American Cable Recycling Plant. Our top story on News 13 for this Thursday. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Kathy Bazinski. Fire crews from departments all across Schuylkill County, as well as others from Luzerne County, converged on an abandoned recycling building in Delano this afternoon to battle a raging fire. That fire erupted just after 1 this afternoon at the American Cable Recycling Building on Lofty Road in Delano. When firefighters got on the scene, there were flames shooting into the sky as well as fire throughout the entire building. Firefighters were also faced with heavy smoke, which rose in a thick column into the air. Witnesses on scene said the smoke could be seen as far away as Blue Mountain. And with no hydrants nearby, every available tanker truck from across the area was called in to battle those flames. The fire was contained thanks to the large number of fire departments that responded from both counties.
They're getting water on it. We have tankers, like 17 tankers or more in from different municipalities, all the way from Luzerne County. They have water, they have adequate water now, so now it's just an exterior attack to try to knock down the flames.
And fire crews say they don't know what caused that fire yet, and they will investigate to see how it was ignited. American Cable Recycling closed down about 3 years ago. Well, it's an iconic hotel that stood as a gateway to Wilkes-Barre for the past 115 years until today. The Hotel Sterling is on its way down. Christina Papa is in the studio just back from the first day of its demolition. Christina?
Kathy, demolition days have begun. This morning, heavy smoke clouded Market Street in Wilkes-Barre as crews started working away at the crumbling Hotel Sterling building.
Demolition of the iconic Hotel Sterling started around 7 this morning when construction crews got the go-ahead.
Today we say goodbye to a historic landmark that was a cornerstone for the Diamond City for many decades.
Hotel Sterling was built during the golden age of Wilkes-Barre in the late 1890s. Over the years, it hosted extravagant parties and even had some presidential visitors.
It's at one point in time, that's the heyday of Wyoming Valley, including Hazleton and Scranton, the coal years. Those years are gone, and now we have to turn the page and see what else we can have in that location.
So needless to say, Hotel Sterling has seen some better days.
Oh, it's a beautiful place. The lobby was beautiful. It was all marble in there.
John Sanoski remembers the building before it was marred with graffiti.
To me, I like the classical buildings. That was a classic. It standing out from all the other buildings.
But lately, Hotel Sterling has stuck out for other reasons.
But recently, it's been an eyesore and a problem for the city of Wilkes-Barre, and its time has come. After
2 floods and little repairs, the building has been sitting and rotting. Now it's irreparable.
Over the years, there were many well-intentioned attempts to preserve and salvage this building. For many reasons, including a severe economic recession that we're still grappling with, those attempts were unsuccessful.
Cranes and other heavy equipment started knocking down the annex of the building as construction crews kept the area safe by hosing down dust and debris.
The destruction, the demolition has brought tons of people to Market Street today, and they've lined the street, as you can see behind me. Some of them have memories of the building in its heyday. Others just were walking by.
I came out because it's an iconic building. It's kind of a big auspicious day, and for good or ill, it's happening, so you might as well watch it happen.
When the commotion clears, construction workers will still be here at the site working away for a while.
It's a 60-day project. It'll probably take him all of 30 days to get it on the ground, and then he'll try going through the product that he puts on the ground to salvage any steel or masonry that he wants to try to sell, and then clean the site.
Historical features like the marble pillars, urns sitting on top of the building, and of course that iconic Hotel Sterling sign were removed before demolition started today. So parts of Hotel Sterling will still live on even after the building is gone. Kathy?
Definitely an end of an era. Thank you, Christina. Well, still no word on the truck driver from Sugarloaf who was involved in that double fatal accident on Route 81 on Wednesday. Police say the 62-year-old Charles Brown of Sugarloaf, a driver for White Bread and Sons Trucking, was driving the interstate near the Avoca exit when his rig slammed into a white minivan, which for some reason was stopped on the highway. Anthony Liza of Old Forge and Jeffrey Godek of Music were in that minivan and were killed in the crash. Investigators are still trying to figure out why the car had stopped. The impact pushed pushed both the minivan and the rig into the median. Traffic along the highway was backed up for nearly 8 hours as police investigated, and the scene was cleared. No word tonight on the trucker's condition. Well, folks who were there say it was a free-for-all. 3 men are hurt, one seriously, during a huge brawl in Hazleton early this morning. The fight happened at 4th and Carson Streets in Hazleton, where witnesses say up to 15 men were involved. Police say they punched and stabbed each other in the middle of the street, on the sidewalk, and slammed each other against the side of a house. As you can see, nobody has washed away any of the bloodstains from the street or the house. Police are currently investigating how the fight happened and who was all involved, although they aren't releasing any names yet.
Somebody was screaming, but I don't see nothing around here. And to the probably 10, 15 minutes, see a guy's, run. And one guy was laying on the ground right there. And he tried to stand up, and he can, and everybody run and leave him, leave alone.
All 3 men were rushed to Hazleton General Hospital for multiple stab wounds. One was later flown to the Lehigh Valley Hospital, where police say he is in stable condition. Well, the Gilberton Borough Council was set to talk about that controversial video posted by the borough's police chief, Mark Kessler. But that meeting's been put off. As Matthew Petrillo tells us, the borough made the decision after it got dozens of disturbing calls about the video.
Go yourself and get some more.
Gilberton Police Chief Mark Kessler is a YouTube sensation. His most viewed video, which he posted last week, has more than 170,000 views. That's more than 200 times the population of Gilberton. The video shows him using obscene language and firing gunshots to symbolically fire at people who don't agree with him.
I find the language very offensive, and I'm sure a lot of other people have also.
Gilberton Mayor Mary Lou Hannon doesn't like the cussing, but she says she's not going to reprimand any employee for what they do during their free time. After all, Kessler was off the clock and out of uniform in the video. But earlier this week, News 13 asked if the guns used in the video belonged to Chief Kessler or the Gilberton Police Department. We were initially told Kessler owned the guns. But today, News 13 learned the guns used to belong to Kessler, until he donated them to the borough. So should Chief Kessler be reprimanded for using equipment that belongs to the borough? High-powered firearms nonetheless, while off the clock. Most residents didn't want to comment today, but one man who didn't want his identity revealed told News 13 Kessler should lose his badge.
The cop is making some kind of a statement, right? Maybe to instill fear in some people.
The remarks have resulted in borough workers being scared. News 13 stopped by Gilberton's Borough Hall today to be greeted by a security guard. He was stationed there after the borough's secretary told the mayor she felt threatened after receiving phone calls nonstop yesterday. Now, when the secretary walked into the borough today, she said her answering machine had more than 50 voicemails on it. News 13 asked to record some of those voicemails. They wouldn't let us, but they did say that people called from all over the country, as far as California and even in Mexico. People started calling after someone posted the borough's number on Facebook. While some people were calling in support of Chief Kessler, the secretary said most calls overwhelmingly were against him, saying he should lose his job. And because of that, Mayor Hannon pushed back tonight's meeting to July 31st at 7 o'clock. Chief Kessler will be back from vacation by then, so he can attend it and answer any questions the public might have. Matthew Petrillo, News 13, Gilberton.
To be continued. Still ahead on News 13, a couple of beautiful summer days on tap, but then a few showers return. We'll have the forecast in News 13 weather. But first, the city of Hazleton taking a proactive approach to identifying the capacity of all its fire hydrants. We'll show you what it's doing when News 13 continues. A few weeks ago, the Hazleton Fire Department had issues with a hydrant when they went to fight a fire. So they met with the Water Authority to talk through some miscommunication issues. Christina Papa checked in with the fire chief today to see if things have improved since that meeting.
There's red, blue, green, orange, but do you know what the color of the hydrant means?
I'm not sure about the colors. Have more pressure and ones that don't, I think.
Sharon's right. Each of the tops stands for a different pressure. Firefighters depend on the color coding to help them put out the fires.
Red is 500 gallons per minute and less. Orange is
500 to 1,000 gallon a minute. Green is 1,000 gallon per minute to 1,500 gallon per minute, and then 1,500 and greater is blue.
One hydrant needed to put out a fire almost a month ago didn't give the expected pressure. That's when Hazleton Fire Department decided to meet with the mayor and city water authority to fix issues with fire hydrant pressure readings.
Yeah, since the meeting with the water authority, our department's been out. We've been out actually color coding all the hydrants. We've got all the flows. They've been calculated.
Hazleton Water Authority has kicked off a $6.5 million project to help boost water pressure in hydrants. Recently, they've hit the streets to start construction.
They've had this project in the works for a while. It was through engineering and design and all that. Now it was out for bid, and now the contractor has started to work in that area. Some line replacements in the northeast section of the city, the heights section of the city, and also the northwest section of the city. Saturday, we met with them in the heights section and marked off 8 spots where there'll be brand new hydrants going in the heights section.
There are no issues here on North Locust Street because these hydrants are fairly new, but other areas gave the fire department a little bit of an issue.
We had a hydrant at 5th and Carson Street in the city that was a bad hydrant. The water authority actually came up there, they replaced that hydrant and actually put a new tap in right off the main to that hydrant. We're hoping to get that flow tested within the next week.
So no matter what the color, Chief Donald Leschko says they're working to make sure that all the hydrants are ready in case of a fire. Christina Papa, News 13, Hazleton.
And here's a little bit more about safety. Kids in McAdoo who love to ride their bikes will have the opportunity to get a driver's license of sorts. The McAdoo Police Department is holding a bike rodeo this Saturday to get kids out of the house and enjoying the rest of the summer on 2 wheels. The rodeo is being held here at the Adams Street Playground from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. All ages welcome, and police are going to have games, competitions, helmet fittings, and of course bicycle inspections to make sure your brakes work properly and your seat is the right height.
We encourage the kids to bring their helmets and a responsible adult, and also a small recent photograph of them because we're going to be issuing licenses as well. There's going to be refreshments down there and hopefully just have a good time. Just something fun for the kids, yeah.
And again, the rodeo is Saturday at the Adams Street Playground from 10 until 2. And as you heard the officer say, kids will also get a chance to get their certified bicycle safe driver's license. Going to be a good time. And it's time now for our regional weather from the National Weather Service. Checking the radar. While we should be in the clear today, there's a slight chance of a pop-up shower, especially the farther south you get in our viewing area, but only a really slight chance. Tonight's creative condition is all about a sunny day in the park. It's by Savannah Bagnato, a student at Hazleton Elementary Middle School, and features a beautiful park, which even has an inviting-looking pond there. Now let's take a look at News 13 weather from the National Weather Service for Greater Hazleton for tonight. Mostly cloudy with a low down to 61 degrees. For Friday, mostly sunny and nice with a high about 74. It'll be clear at night with a cool low of 56 degrees. And heading to Schuylkill County for tonight, cloudy with a low around 56. Then on Friday, mostly sunny, a high of 79 degrees. Overnight low around 62 degrees. And let's check the winning midday lottery numbers. Good luck if you play. The daily 330, Big 4 0026, Quinto 02901, and the treasure hunt 6, 15, 18, 21, 27. Hope you won.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's social news. First tonight, happy 70th birthday to Evelyn Lapatina. This wish comes with love from your family and friends. Tonight's Talk of the Town report, Holy Rosary Church will be holding their parish picnic Friday, July 26th and Saturday, July 27th. The party will have live entertainment, delicious homemade food, games, prizes, and much more. This event is rain or shine, so be sure to stop by. And finally, the Mock Chunk Opera House will be holding several upcoming events. July 27th, Vagabond Opera, August 2nd, Marrakesh Express, August 9th, Joe Louis Walker, and August 10th, Forward Motion. For more information about any of these shows or tickets, please call 570-325-0249 or check out mockchunkoperahouse.com. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Dr. Christopher Justafin of Sugarloaf. Private services will be held under the direction of the Boyle Funeral Home. Joan Kane, formerly of Mahanoy City, Duluth D. Truskowski Funeral Home will announce complete arrangements. Dr. Michael J. Urachek of Waterbury, Connecticut, memorial service will be held at the convenience of the family. And Jean G. Cogan of Mountaintop. Private services will be held at the convenience of the family from the Butler Chapel of the Cropton Hughes Funeral Home. Tonight's obituaries have been brought to you by the Smilax Floral Shop located on 15th Street in Hazleton. For delivery to all local funeral homes, call 570-454-0111. And by Doves of White, serving Schuylkill and surrounding counties, call 570-205-1597.
SSPTV Sports on News 13 with Fred Barletta Jr.
Afternoon baseball in the minor leagues. Now, it wasn't right here in northeastern Pennsylvania because the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs on the road on the shore of the Great Lakes in Rochester. Unfortunately, it wasn't a real good afternoon. They get upended. Rochester wins 6-3 in this one. So Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs complete that series, but Rochester takes the finale. Meanwhile, last night, the Rail Riders got back on the winning track, so to speak. They got a home run from Randy Ruiz, knocked in 3 runs. They beat Toledo. Remember, Toledo had swept the doubleheader the night before. So the Rail Riders climbing back into things. Russ Kanzler's Indianapolis Indians, they were rained out at Charlotte. So that sets up today, double dip involving Indianapolis and Charlotte. So that one just getting underway right now. The Rail Riders hosting Toledo will try to make it 2 in a row. As far as the major leagues go, well, the Yankees and Texas Rangers, that game still hasn't gone final. They're playing down in Texas. What could be better than an afternoon game down in Texas in the middle of July? Can't think of too many things, but that one's still going on. Tonight, the Tampa Bay Rays and Joe Madden try to win that series. They've won 2 of the first 3 over the Red Sox. David Price looking very good last night. We'll see if Tampa could make it 3 out of 4. Meanwhile, the Mets win in their game this afternoon with Atlanta, Pittsburgh, and Washington, and the Phillies in St. Louis. Phil's looking just woeful in the first 2 games at St. Louis. We'll see what they can do tonight. And of course, Alex Rodriguez, unfortunately, stealing the headlines. Did he? Didn't he? Who's trying to stop him from playing? It's getting completely out of control right now. Rodriguez is fighting hard, saying now that it's the Yankees in Major League Baseball conspiring against him. I have advice for A-Rod. I know he doesn't watch local News 13. He should. If you feel that's true, file a grievance against them. As a member of the Major League Baseball Players Association, you have that right. In other words, in little old Hazleton, we're calling your bluff, A-Rod. Why don't you simply say, I'm going to file a grievance for what you've done against me? If I remember correctly, it was A-Rod who went to authorities last Sunday up here in Music and said, my quad's a little tight, I can't play. Now he's trying to pin it the other way around. Listen, the best case scenario for everybody, including the Yankees, would be for A-Rod to be unable to perform. He would get his money from the Yankees would get it in an insurance policy, but I don't think that's going to happen. Major League Baseball has him clearly in their sights, and the charade is over for A-Rod. He just continues to tell lie after lie after lie. Tonight's sports is brought to you by Mountain Speedway. Here's a look at this weekend's action. It's going to be busy. The racing will begin at 6, so plenty of action this Saturday. Just $10 for grandstand admission. Kids under 10 are free, and if you're active military or a senior, you get a $2 discount. There's the website and the phone numbers. You could call them and get all the information on the excitement of racing down at Mountain Speedway. We're giving away 2 grandstand admission tickets to this weekend's race. Call us right now, 459-9813, and if you're the 3rd caller, you can claim your tickets at the race with proper ID. Hey, that's a pretty interesting ticket.
And here's what our media partner, the Standard Speaker, is working on for tomorrow's edition. Thick smoke could be seen from miles away as area firefighters battle a large blaze at the former American Cable Recyclers in Delano Township. You can read all about that in the Friday edition of the Standard Speaker. And plenty more news and information headed your way on News 13. More on that massive fire at the former recycling facility in Delano. That story and much more news when the 13 crew comes right back.